Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Natalia. I'm honestly so proud to be making this video because I've accomplished my first goal of 2021, and that is to complete the 30-day no sugar detox. And no, the title is not clickbait. I actually lost 10 pounds, and that was with very minimal exercise. In this video, I'm going to tell you all about my experience as well as give you guys some advice if you are thinking about trying the challenge. But one of the main things that I want you to take away from this is that this is a diet or a challenge that you do need to mentally prepare for. It's not going to be something that's going to be from one day to the next you're able to do. So sit back, grab a snack, sugar-free, and if you want to learn how I lost 10 pounds on the 30-day no sugar detox diet, then just keep watching. So as I just mentioned, it's not something that you can really do from one day to the next. So I knew that I was in for quite the ride, and it definitely is something that progressively got easier. It did not start off easy for me at all by any means. I'm someone with a really huge sweet tooth. I love chocolate. That's my thing. Like, I love chocolate. I love to have a piece of chocolate almost every day. Like, at this point, it was almost every day I would have some form of sweet. I knew going into this that I wouldn't be able to have any chocolate, and that was the hardest part for sure. But I am going to show you guys some alternatives that you can use to curb your sweet tooth. The number one thing I guess I should say is that I didn't do the sugar detox on its own. I combined that with intermittent fasting, and that is what I believe truly allowed me to lose the weight. Now, if you're not familiar with intermittent fasting is where you basically fast for a certain portion of the day and eat during a certain portion of the day. So for me, I would try to keep all of my meals between 12 p.m. noon and 8 p.m. So I wouldn't eat past 8 p.m. and I wouldn't eat before 12 p.m. So if you are a big breakfast person, your hour or your window may change. So that's totally fine. Some people do 10 to 6, they do 11 to 7. I personally have never been a huge breakfast person. Like, if it's like a Saturday morning and I have the time and I have, I'm in the mood for it, then I'll make myself some like pancakes or waffles or something. But I'm not a person that I wake up and I need breakfast. So for me, pushing my window to start around lunchtime, like 12 p.m. was totally fine. But like I said, everyone's different, so adjust the window to whatever is at your liking. Now for what the no sugar detox is, it's eliminating completely any refined or added sugars that are in the products that we consume. So it's really going in on reading those nutrition labels and seeing what ingredients are being put in your food. And most labels will have like that included added sugar line, so you can see the percentage of how much sugar was added, or the percentage of the total ingredients, how much is sugar, I should say. And this includes like cane sugar, organic cane sugar, brown sugar, anything like that is an added sugar. And then you want to make sure that you Google other names for sugar, because there are a ton of other names for added sugars. So you want to make sure that the foods that you're consuming are clear of those. Now, this is difficult in a sense because so many products contain sugar. Ketchup has sugar, tons of other condiments, mayonnaise, barbecue sauce, even like in pasta shells, there can be added sugar, bread. Like, there's so much sugar in the world, and we are all in a way addicted to sugar if we're not living by this eliminating added sugar, because that's what makes food taste good or food taste sweet, and us keep going back for more. A lot of it is sugar. So this diet, like I said, involves completely eliminating that. So that is what I did. I started doing research on what I can eat, and when you do your research, you're going to find that this diet pretty much goes hand in hand with the keto diet. So because keto is so popular now, it's a great thing actually, because there's so many food options now that are keto friendly that you can eat when you're on the no sugar detox. The main difference being that keto is very, very low carb, whereas I wasn't too concerned about the carbs that I was having. I was pretty low carb, but I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I ate carbs twice today. Like, my focus was mainly eliminating sugar. So my best friend during this entire thing was Pinterest, because You can go on Pinterest and you can see so many different meal options for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And everything is pretty like easy to read and follow through. And so if you aren't on Pinterest and you are interested in doing these sort of crash diets or challenges or anything like that, Pinterest is going to be one of your best friends because everything is there. So I was always on Pinterest looking up new meals, looking up different things that I can incorporate in my day-to-day because I didn't want to get bored of what I was eating. That's the thing with these kinds of diets, is that you feel like you can only eat protein and vegetables, and then you get sick of what you're eating after the first week. But me going on Pinterest and going on YouTube even, like I was able to get really creative in the kitchen and find different things that tasted good and that combined well together. And I thoroughly enjoyed pretty much all of the meals that I was having. I did a whole what I eat in a day video during my no sugar detox, so I'll make sure to link that somewhere up in the cards for you guys to check it out. And for dessert, you guys, the thing with the no sugar diet is that you can have fruit, of course, because fruit is natural sugar, but there are fruits that it's recommended that you stay away from. So the only fruit that I consumed this entire time was strawberry. And I was like, okay, I can't just eat strawberries all the time or make strawberry smoothies all the time or anything like that. So I started eating my strawberries with creamy almond butter, the organic almond butter, the one from Trader Joe's. And you guys, that will be my favorite snack like forever. Like I'm planning on sticking to this for most days, at least 5 days out of the week. And then I'll have like the weekends as my cheat days. But that snack is amazing, especially when the strawberries are nice and ripe and they're nice and sweet with the almond butter. You guys, perfect, 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 perfect. You need to try it. So of course, you guys want to know about my weight. That's why you guys clicked on this video. And I have to say, you guys, I'm so proud of myself. So I should have taken pictures of the scale. I'm really mad that I didn't, but I documented week by week all of my weigh-ins. I only weighed myself once a week. I didn't want to overwhelm myself with the scale. So I started the detox on January 4th, which was a Monday. And then I weighed myself every Monday, except for the last week where I ended yesterday was Tuesday. I did my final weigh-in then. So week 1, I weighed in at 144.2. Week 2, I weighed in at 138.2. So that was my biggest gap where I lost the most weight. I lost pretty much 6 pounds during the first week alone. And I think that was just my body getting super shifted with the intermittent fasting and then the change in my diet. And I also worked out the most during that first week where I was like super motivated. I did yoga, I did ab routines, that kind of thing. So I think that's why. Week 3, I weighed in at 137 even, so just about a pound there. Week 4, I weighed in at 136.2. And then my final weigh-in was 134.2. I don't know how all of these were 0.2, but it just was. And you guys, I couldn't believe it when I did that final weigh-in. Like, I knew that I wanted to hit 10 pounds, like, especially after that first week when I saw that I was able to lose that much weight just by changing your diet. Like, and my body was kind of in ketosis too, I want to say. You know, on keto, you do lose weight really fast. So to do all of that in a month, and I still feel good. I have so much energy. I don't feel hungry. I don't feel like I'm starving myself or anything like that. I'm super excited with the way that that portion turned out. So as for curbing my chocolate craving, because my chocolate craving gets really intense during that time of the month, if you know what I mean. So I wanted to find something. So I found these keto fudge brownies or little fudge bars from Trader Joe's. I'll put like a picture of them. I have them and I didn't grab them. I'm sorry. And I can't even like walk to them right now with my setup, but I'll put a picture of them right here for you guys to see. And I love those. Those are great for when I got my period and I really wanted that chocolate taste. They're not super sweet. They're sweetened with stevia, which is not an artificial sweetener. It's a natural sweetener. It comes from a plant. But they're not like overly sweet, but it's very, very high in like cacao or cocoa, whatever. And it tasted very, very chocolatey. So it gave me the satisfaction of eating chocolate. Now for alcohol. Now you can do this diet by cutting out alcohol completely, by all means. I did not. I still wanted my little glass of wine here and there, and my little drink here and there. So on the no sugar detox, most alcohols, most liquors, I should say, are permitted on their own. I'm a big whiskey fan. Like that is my liquor, my go-to liquor if I'm drinking liquor. And so I had liquor like once or twice during the month. I had a friend over and we were hanging out and I had some. But that I would just drink like a little bit of Jack Daniels with some ice and a lime. And that was perfect, a lime or a lemon, whatever it is that you have. And that's fine. Jack Daniels doesn't have any sugar, which is great. But on other days where I didn't want to drink liquor and I did want to have a drink, my go-to is always wine. So I really fell in love with this white wine called Matua. And it's a New Zealand wine. It's a Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon Blanc is the wine with the least amount of natural sugar. Some wines even have added sugars. And the bad thing is that they're not required to tell you what's in the wine, so you don't even really know. So I had to do a whole bunch of research, and then once I picked the Sauvignon Blanc, then I had to do research on the brand, and luckily I was able to find that there was less than 1 gram of natural sugar in this wine, and it was great. It was wonderful, and I was able to have my relaxation glass of wine and do my thing. Now, one thing I do want to shout out is the fact that my skin improved so much throughout this month. That's why one of the main reasons, of course with the weight loss, but one of the main reasons why I want to stick to this diet is because of my skin. Like my skin has cleared up so much. I do have discoloration and stuff, and I knew that wasn't going to go away with eliminating sugar. As far as texture and getting little pimples, even when I got my period, my skin did not react. And it really goes to show you that what you consume like literally shows on your face. So I was so happy with my skin and the way that it's looking right now, combined with the fact that I've been drinking so much water. Water is the only thing that I drink. It's funny. It's like water or alcohol because I don't drink sodas. I don't drink juices or anything like that. Strictly water. And I know that's another reason why my skin looks so much better because it's much more hydrated and just nicer and plumpier and better overall. Lastly, I want to leave you guys with 3 pieces of advice if you are thinking about doing the no sugar detox. Number 1, try and get yourself a partner. Especially in the beginning, it really helps to have someone to check in with daily who knows what you're going through. I did the challenge with one of my really good friends, Mel, and honestly, like I think we saved each other. That first 2 weeks, I think we were checking in every day, multiple times a day. And then the last couple of weeks when we sort of got used to it and we're doing our own thing, then we didn't check in as often, but a couple of times a week in regards to about the diet. And it helps so much. Like it really, really does. You guys can be each other's motivation. And I'm telling you, in the beginning, you're going to need that person to talk to when you want to break your diet and you want to fulfill your craving. Like if you have someone to talk you through it, it just makes it so much easier. So if you can, try and convince someone to do it with you. Number 2, make sure you give yourself time to prepare. This was something that I never did. I can be a very impulsive person at times. And so when it comes to like a new diet or new challenge or new exercise or something, literally from one day to the next, I'll like decide that I want to do it. And then I never stick with it. So with this, I think Mel and I started discussing it like 2 or 3 weeks before we started the challenge. We started it for January, so for the new year. So I want to say like 2 to 3 weeks before we were discussing it, and it just allows your body and your mind to mentally prepare for what it's about to give up because it is a big deal. Like I said, sugar isn't everything. So you have to really think strategically about what you're going to eat, how you're planning on fulfilling those cravings, whether or not you're going to do intermittent fasting. Like all of those things, you should really take time to train yourself for and train your brain because you don't want to like binge on products that have sugar and food items that have sugar and then the next day start this diet. Like you really want to ease into it. So at least if you're mentally preparing yourself 3 or 4 days before, you can start cutting sugar out little by little. So that way it's not just like a crash for your body and just like a shock to your body by not consuming it for the next 30 days. You know what I mean? Last piece of advice, number 3, is to not think about it as if you can't eat anything now. Luckily, we're at a time where keto diets are super popular. The no sugar diet is super popular, where there's so many products that are geared towards those diets that it just makes it so much easier to find foods. And now, again, because those diets are popular, most products will label whether they have a lot of sugar, whether they have no sugar, without you having to like dig throughout the back label. So don't think of it as if you can't eat anything. Like I said, Pinterest will be your best friend. It will allow you to get creative in the kitchen and make meals that you love and that you actually look forward to eating. Now, I have done the meal prep thing like seriously for a few weeks, and I've always hated it because I would get bored of my food by Wednesday. If I was eating it Monday to Friday, I would get bored of it by Wednesday. So what I learned with this is that it was best if I made a little bit as I went along. I do work from home, so it is a little bit easier for me, but I would make a little bit as I went along. That way, come Wednesday, if I want to change what I'm having for dinner, I don't have all this food sitting in the fridge that I'm not going to eat. So just think of different ways to cook your food and have fun with it. Like, honestly, have fun with it. There are so many workarounds, and it doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be dreadful. And for me, that's what I feel made it go by so quickly, at least in my brain and in Mel's brain. We felt like the month flew by because we enjoyed the food we were having. So that's pretty much it, guys, for my experience on the no sugar detox after 30 days. Like I said, my goal is to continue with this at least 5 days out of the week, and then Saturday and Sunday I can go ahead and have a cheat day, have a burger, have whatever it is that I'm craving at that time. Please let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions. If you want to do like a Q&A video, I can do a part 2, definitely. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button so you're notified anytime I post a video. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.